Hello there, Virgo. How are you today? Let's take a look at what is influencing your partner. Is it a person, place, thing? Is it their job? What is it? What is influencing your partner? Here we go. Okay, Virgo, here we go. Next card here underneath, we've got the Five of Swords. So clearly there's been a big conflict between the two of you. And I don't necessarily like the Five of Swords because the Five of Swords is about winning at all costs. And someone here is always walking away really depleted and hurt. So, you know, a lot of times with the Five of Swords card, there's, you know, the conflict was, you know, words were used and you can't take back those words, you know, that you've affected the person. So, yeah, whenever I see that card, it kind of weighs heavy on me because it's like I know that there's people here that are hurting because of that heaviness of what happened. Again, Five of Cups. You've got Five of Swords, Five of Cups. So the number 5 obviously is very important here, so pay attention to that. The Five of Cups, again, so the person here who was defeated, right, in this battle, feels a huge sense of loss, right? But also if the person that won this fight here, this conflict, is your person, then they also have a lot of regret. There's a sense of loss, grief, and regret about everything that's happened. And they're really in their heads about it, and they're really affected by that. That's what's influencing their day-to-day life, is what's happened. They're focusing on everything that's happened and how much of a mess they've made and how much of a mess the situation has made in your lives. They're not willing to turn around and see that there's still something good to harvest here, to salvage. There's a part of them that you know, wants to change their, you know, like see things from a different perspective, right? Maybe get a little piece of information that would tell them something different so that they can change their mind. This is also a card of spying, right? They may be spying on you, and obviously you're spying on them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. But you also may be receiving a message from them. You know, they may send you a text and try to reconcile with you. Underneath it all, they keep themselves up at night with a lot of anxiety and fear, sadness, because, you know, everything that's happened, they really see their lives a mess right now because of what's transpired between the two of you, and they really stay awake at night worrying about this, and they're in such despair over it. So they're really driven by what's happened here, the feelings. And you've got Eight of Pentacles here, so what they're doing is they bury themselves in work or something else that's going to compete for their attention. So whether it's a sport, a hobby, a job, something like that, they're focusing in on something else rather than trying to let this consume them. So on the outside, they look busy, right? They look like they're in their own world and they're not hurting, but truly they are. This is what they do at night when no one's looking. They stress, they worry, they're anxious, they have fears. But on the outside, they look focused and determined. So something here is going to force the situation, this relationship, to change, because whatever it is that you guys fought about, it's so monumental that you can't help but have the universe force you to change, right? Something's going to happen here and it's going to force you to change. But the problem here is someone is going to be giving into self-sabotage. This is the behavior that is not necessarily serving us, right? So it could be negative thoughts, negative behaviors, negative words that come out of the mouth, bad habits, right? So if this person is a drinker, they may drink in excess, right? If the person, you know, has a tendency to do drugs, they may do that. If the person has a tendency towards negative thinking, stinking thinking, you know, negative attitude, they may go towards that. Yeah. So Page of Wands here, new inspiration. Your person is trying to find something to charge them up and kind of see things differently, maybe get inspired, you know, to get out of this state of grief and sadness. Yeah, they're having to transform here. Everything around them when it comes to change is telling them you have to transform yourself. You can't continue. Whatever it is, however they present it to you before all of this, is no longer going to help them, because clearly it's something that you guys fought over, right? And they're going to have to learn their lessons from this situation, and it's going to change them. Oh my goodness. And then this is, whatever this is going to turn your world upside down, Virgo. Yeah. This is a major upheaval in your world, and if you know, and if it hasn't already, you might want to be aware of that. Here's the thing about the Tower: is you can't prevent this. Okay, this is going to happen no matter what, because someone here is going to be faced with reality and is going to have to change whether they like it or not. And because they change, this is the thing here: it's going to turn the world upside down and really break down the Tower. And there's going to be this sense of overburden, overwhelm, exhaustion, right? This person feels a certain level of responsibility here. That's why they're burdening themselves to carry all of the wands to get to their destination. I don't like that card because it's all about self-sabotage. So someone here is engaging in self-sabotage. Okay, I want to clarify that. Two of Cups. So they're really lamenting over you. Yeah, King of Pentacles. And someone is around them to kind of shape them, shape their attitude and hopefully bring them out of this state of self-sabotage. Let's clarify the Death card here. All right, yeah, the Hermit. So again, introspection. This person's going to have to go away somewhere and really have time to think, and really think about their role in all of this hurt, this sadness that's around both of you. Yeah, again, this is Four of Swords and the Hermit. This is someone taking a pause, taking a rest to heal and recover from what's happened, because they are grieving. They're grieving your loss. Wow. And they're really doing things that's going to sabotage your union. Six of Pentacles. So someone's going to come around this person, maybe you, to assist them and help them get out of this. If it's not you, it's going to be, you know, somebody that they trust, someone they have a connection with. Maybe this King of Pentacles person, this wise individual that is going to kind of ground them. Queen of Pentacles. So you're coming in as someone who is very stable, very comforting, and very nurturing. And that's kind of what this relationship needs right now. But what's going to happen is they're going to have a sense of defensiveness. They're going to feel like they're being attacked, right? So you're going to have to work your magic and be comforting, nurturing, and understand how to communicate with this individual so you can kind of bridge the gap and make amends. Because, you know, they're trying to heal as well, right? They're grieving, and they know that they need to heal. They may be doing it in the wrong way, right? Which is that self-sabotage, but they do want to be with you. Ace of Cups, yeah, so this tells me that there is possibility for both of you to reunite and make amends with one another and pour a lot of love in this situation. You do love each other, and there's an opportunity here for new love. Yeah, look at that, the Lovers. Yeah, so you guys are meant to be together. You know, it's just a matter of how you're going to handle this conflict that's happened between the two of you. Because, I mean, obviously, they're hurting. They just don't want to admit it, right? So they bury themselves in work and focus on something else so they don't have to deal with this pain, this anxiety, this sadness. Right? And whether they like it or not, they're going to change, right? And the universe is saying, you need time out. This is the time out card. You need time out and really think about what you've done and what this relationship means to you. Yeah, understanding, I see your side of the story. They're coming to that realization that, you know, they're not, that you have to be flexible, right? They know their role in the situation, and you know, and this works for you too as well, Virgo, that the universe is saying, you know, admit to your own faults and your role in the conflict. Space, I need more time to think. Yeah, so because they're in Hermit mode here, and they're also in the Four of Swords mode, which is, you know, checking out a little bit, checking out just to recover. Shadow side, you made me realize my flaws. Yeah, so this whole thing is so transformative. They've realized their flaws, and they're going to change. It's going to force them to change. They don't have a choice. Sabotage, and they say that they mess up everything that's good in their life. Yeah. Sad. All right, so your person is in a lot of pain here. Maybe this is going to be you. You're going to be the one that's going to help them kind of pick up the pieces a little bit, because obviously this is really damaged this person. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Yeah, you're going to need to learn how to trust one another again, because clearly there's been betrayal. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Yeah, you guys were put together for a reason. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Yeah, so you guys are going to have to take, once they are out of their hermit mode and their rest and they've recovered and transformed, you have to come together and spend time together. Religious factors, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Yeah, so if you're really, really, you know, you turn to your religion and really believe that you don't give up on each other, then this becomes you. You're the one that's going to offer help and assistance to this individual who is in need, who is clearly undergoing a huge transformation here, Virgo. All right, thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye-bye.